Shout out to our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. See why over 3 million members love Dollar Shave Club and getting razors right to the door. You can get your first month of the club for just $1 and the shipping is free. After that, it's just a few bucks a month. No long-term commitment, no hidden fees. Learn more or get yours at dollarshaveclub.com/no. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. If your first reaction to Square Enix remaking Final Fantasy VII was, why that one? Well, if you're one of those rare people, you might have something to look forward to. According to Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age director Takashi Kitano, a more pre-PS2 era remakes from the company could be on the way. Speaking with IB Times about future Final Fantasy remasters, Kitano said, Final Fantasy XII is a PS2 title, and you look at the other titles in the series, and technologically, anything before the PS2 era is going to be quite difficult to do a modern remaster of to a suitable level of quality. That means a future game is far more likely to be a remake. Now, considering Square Enix recently said in their earnings briefing that remakes are going to be a future pillar for the company, that means everyone can start bickering now about whether Final Fantasy VI or 8 or 9 deserves the next remake. Exciting, right? You got your hopes up to get into E3 this year, see all the new games coming up? Well, consumer passes were available to the public for the first time this year, and unfortunately, if you haven't got one, they're all sold out now. The E3 Twitter account broke the news this week, saying all consumer passes are gone. With 15,000 of them available, that means we can probably expect a massive crowd at this year's expo, and hopefully some massive games to match. But if you really want to go and you're willing to drop some extra money, you can still purchase a business pass. It's gonna cost you though, it's like $1,000. It comes with catered meals though, or you can skip the price of that and catch our E3 stream, which we'll be doing. We'll basically be bringing E3 to you because we're gonna have all the developers and all the game demos and all the gameplay and all the fun stuff, and it's gonna be really exciting and such long days, and I'm already having nightmares about planning it. But besides that, one of the last big remaining publisher press conferences for E3 has now just been announced, and it's Devolver Digital. Yes, the publisher of smaller indie games has just announced they will also be holding their own press conference at the show this year, but there's no time and date just yet, so don't mark the calendars in pen. Maybe just use pencil. If you're sitting there wondering, who's Devolver Digital? Well, we can't blame you, especially if you play a lot of AAA games, but they have published a lot of recognizable indie hits like Hotline Miami, Enter the Gungeon, and The Talos Principle, so they could have some really cool stuff to show off. Now we just need the time and date for Square Enix and we're all set. Nintendo is set to roll out some more announcements about its upcoming motion fighter, ARMS, the one it's a whole new generation of like Wii Tennis Elbow. The company will be holding its next direct live stream about the game later this afternoon, probably within a few hours of this video going live, depending on when we get it up. According to Nintendo, today's Direct will provide a deep dive ARMS, plus a brand new trailer for Splatoon 2. That should be fairly exciting for Switch owners, as ARMS and Splatoon 2 are set to be the console's big titles over the summer. ARMS is releasing on June 16th, and Splatoon releases on July 21st. So they'll tide us over until we get that Mario Odyssey, right? Yeah, after all the will they, won't they about South Park, the Fractured Buttholes release, it looks like we finally have a definitive date for the RPG, assuming it doesn't slip again. The follow-up to The Stick of Truth will be hitting on October 17th, 2017, after multiple delays. The new date comes courtesy of a new trailer for the game, this time taking a look at the mysterious farting vigilante. October 17th is a lot better than Ubisoft's last update for the game, because previously the only window they would commit to was sometime before spring 2018, so this is a big comfort. Now, it's time for a gate. We have to have a gate every day, it seems like now. This time, it's Birdgate 2017 in Minecraft! Earlier this week, a controversial Reddit post in the Minecraft subreddit blew up where one user asked for Mojang to change the bird breeding mechanic in the game. As it currently stands, parrots are urged to breed through the use of chocolate chip cookies, which actually can be lethal to them in real life. According to the poster, literally millions of kids will play this game, and chocolate and pet parrots are common enough that this will cause a problem. There is no question about that. The post went on to become the most upvoted thread of all time in the subreddit with more than 37,000 votes, although to be fair to previous threads, I don't want y'all to feel bad, Reddit did recently change their algorithms for more upvotes and all that sort of stuff, so trust me, there's some good old ones too, probably. And fortunately for parrots everywhere, Mojang actually listened. The company said in an email to Motherboard that they'll be changing it. If Minecraft has any effect on children's behavior, we want it to be a positive one, so we'll change the item used to breed parrots before the 1.12 update is released. See, this is what our controversies have come to, everyone. You know, it's actually a pretty good day if the biggest video game controversy is about chocolate chip cookies and parrots. That said, I do know kids with parrots, and now that I know about chocolate chip cookies, I'll make sure we steer clear. And it looks like The Witcher is coming to Netflix. PC Jenzen reports that the streaming service will work with Polish production studio Platige Image to bring the IP to your TV. Meanwhile, author Andrzej Sapkowski, who wrote the Witcher books, will serve as a creative consultant. Now, interestingly, CD Projekt Red, which made the very well-received Witcher games, said it is not involved at all in the series. They are based on the books, not on the game property. The studio told PC Games and they're not involved, but they wish it all the best and are looking forward to watching the series on Netflix. Us too, especially if it's good. Now, fun fact, if you watch the Glitch Please podcast pilots, we're reworking the patch podcast, and it's in the pilot phase on our website right now, so if you are a first member, you can catch the pilot episodes, or we're tweaking the formula. We actually did one on casting a Witcher movie, so just saying, Netflix and friends, if you want to check out our casting suggestions, we did real good for you. An upcoming Western MMO that definitely is not Red Dead Redemption 2 has apparently gotten more funding from its investors and will not go through crowdfunding. PC Gamer reports that the game's developer, 612 Games, was initially planning to ask for $250,000 in crowdfunding, but now says that, thanks to its initial investors, it won't have to. You might remember that some people, including ourselves, initially thought a leaked image of the game was an image of Red Dead Redemption 2, but it turns out the game will be called Wild West Online and is an open-world PvP MMO. Stephen Bagaj, the creative vice president of publisher DJ2, which owns 612 Games, said that the community response has been overwhelming and added that we've been fortunate enough to have our initial investors step up and provide additional funding to make the game we wanted without having to raise money via crowdfunding, which pretty good. Crowdfunding didn't make a whole lot of sense for a Western game anyway. They should have just robbed a stagecoach. Westerns are awesome. Red Dead 2 is going to be great. It looks like, you know, Far Cry 5 is looking more and more Western-y. So there's a lot of anticipation for those. Westerns can work, but overall, they're a little bit more of a niche genre. Call Juarez, anyone? Prey has definitely changed over the years. Some leaked design documents from a few years ago show some early concepts that were quite a bit different than what the game would ultimately become. The documents, which were leaked on a torrent site in 2014 of the now canceled version, they were now posted on NeoGAF and show several ideas for the game's story, all of which are super different than the Prey we actually got. One would have put the player on a tropical island that was hiding a bunker with military secrets. Another featured a lab that was built on a crashed alien ship. As Kotaku points out, none of the documents mentioned Morgan U, Talos 1, the Typhon, or any of the story elements that eventually are in this final game. Prey, which this one was developed by Arcane Studios, is kind of a reboot of the 2006 game, released earlier this month for consoles and PC, and so far it's gotten some pretty decent reviews, and just goes to show how much can change between conception and final product, especially when you also change the studio and the engine and, well, everything else about it too. Will the upcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi have the biggest plot twist ever? Well, that's what they're promising, if you believe a new Japanese ad for the film. The ad, which was found by StarWars.net, apparently promises that the most shocking truth in Star Wars history will soon be revealed. Gizmodo's interpreter said, though, that the Japanese word for shocking could also mean devastating, gut-wrenching, startling, sensational, astounding, or astonishing. Also, the Japanese word for truth could also be interpreted as reveal. At any rate, it appears that a big surprise of some kind is in store. Maybe we'll finally learn who Rey's parents are, although is that going to be shocking? I guess it would depend on the parents. If it's going to top Darth Vader being Luke's father, though, it better be pretty big. Spoilers for the 70s. Breaking news, there's still no director for the Flash movie, but hey, they're trying. Variety reports that Matthew Vaughn and Robert Zemeckis are the studio's top choices to direct the upcoming movie. There's also another high-profile name in the mix, according to The Hollywood Reporter. That would be Sam Raimi, who directed the original Spider-Man trilogy and apparently met with Warner Brothers pretty recently. You might remember that the Flash movie has had some troubles keeping a director. Last year, the movie lost its second director, Rick Famuyiwa, who left due to creative differences. Wow, a DC movie having a problem keeping director. Who would have thought? Seriously though, please, someone direct a new Flash movie. We want a good one. Matthew Vaughn is now my pick. I mean, come on, Kingsman, right? Now, PSA, don't text during a movie, including the new Flash movie, or you just might end up in court. A guy in the Austin area, that's us, tragically enough, who took his date to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, apparently was so annoyed she texted during the movie, he is now suing her for the price of the movie ticket. The Austin American-Statesman reported that Brandon Vesmar is asking for $17.31, the price of a ticket to a 3D showing of the movie. Vesmar called it the first date from hell and said that she started texting about 15 minutes into the movie. After he asked her to stop, the woman apparently left the theater and drove off, leaving him without a ride. For her part, the woman, who asked not to be identified, told the Statesman that she only texted 2 or 3 times and was communicating with a friend who was having a fight with her boyfriend. Very dramatic. Guardians director James Gunn even weighed in on the controversy, tweeting, "Why stop at suing? She deserves jail time." Alright, that's all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of these stories in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Thanks to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this update. DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing razors right to your door, so you don't have to keep using the same dull razor because it's a pain to go to the store to get one when you forget all the time, and then there's a whole bunch of like gross little hairs in your razor, and you're pretty sure that it's like building an entire ecosystem. It's gross. They've got a whole lineup of razors for Dollar Shave Club too, so you can decide how fancy you want to get. Plus, there are tons and tons of extras for shaving or just for keeping yourself clean, like Dr. Carver's Shave Butter, the Mint Cedarwood Body Cleanser. There's a really lovely Amber Lavender Soap. That's probably my favorite, but they've even got stuff for your hair. So basically, all your grooming needs are covered, and it all smells really good. Dollar Shave Club is so confident in the quality of all their products. Now you can get your first month of the club for just $1 and the shipping is free. After that, it's just a few bucks a month, no long-term commitments, so you can cancel whenever you decide that you want to go for a sweet beard. No hidden fees, no reason at all not to do it. Get yours at dollarshaveclub.com/no. Ladies, it's great for your legs too.